Hello and welcome to episode 11 of The Perfect Game. This week we're commentating over round 3 of the Midlands Open, and we have 2 special guests this time. Both Ian and Ryan have been kind enough to donate their time and to commentate over their game from the tournament. So thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Hello, Jake.
So we've got Crix versus Circle. Ryan, I believe you won the role to go first.
I did.
So what was in your list?
I've been playing Ghost Fleet for quite a while, and the way Ghost Fleet is built, there's kind of a fairly standard template, and the list kind of builds itself. So I was running three minimum units of Revenant Crew of the Atramentus. 2 of those units have 3 rifles. The 3rd unit has 2 rifles. A full unit of Blackbane's Ghost Raiders, the Wraith Engine, and then because of all that, you've got 60 points of Revenant, so you get 3 free solos, which is Captain Rengrave, the Hellslinger Phantom, and a Pistol Race. And then kind of tacked onto that is Denny's Battle Group, which is largely irrelevant relative to the rest of the pirates, but there's 2 Death Ripper Archnodes and 2 Stalker Light Warjacks.
Very nice. And what theme benefits do you get again in Ghost Fleet, for those who aren't familiar?
So you get the free crap, obviously, which is a recurring theme of the theme force. You get +1 to your start and roll, which is quite clutch in a lot of matchups because it means your pirates, you claim quite a lot of board space quite quickly, and you also get a +1 to your roll for each of the Revenant Crew. So normally you bring back D3 Revenant Crew a turn, whereas when you play the Ghost Fleet, you get D3 +1. So it's effectively an extra 3 pirates you bring them back every turn.
Yeah, it's a pretty good benefit.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's all right. Ian, what was in your list then? So you took Morvahna2.
Yeah, I take Morvahna2, so I take her in the farm theme because I think it's strong, and a lot of people play Kruger 1, but I quite like Morvahna2. I think she plays into more matchups. I've played her quite a lot over Mark 3, and I've found that what she really needs over anything else is wound transfers. So I have a slightly more war beast than most people I think take Morvahna2. So I've got an Argus Moonhound in there because I take Bloodpack and also a Pureblood, and he can help with that, and sometimes the trackers as well. I take a Wild Argus because they're probably the best light in Circle, maybe compete with the Scarfell. And I take a Gorax just because in an emergency it allows the Pureblood or the Wild Argus to possibly actually do something worthwhile in combat if I come against armor. After that, I take double max Ravagers, which I wouldn't probably take out of theme, but in theme I think they get the free Chieftains, which is pretty good. And also I take Mim Bloodtrackers because I think they're very good for just praying a light warjack or some infantry and causing them a bit of hassle. I take Max Bloodpack. Because of all the farm I've taken there, I get a free Shaman, which I'll go through in a minute. The Max Bloodpack basically just add a bit of shooting to the list, which is very relevant with Morvahna because it's stuff she can actually get her re-rolls with reliably because she can sort of stay back and make sure they're in range. And I take Shifting Stones. The free Tharn Ravagers Shaman, basically, a lot of people take it in the list for the no knockdown turf. I personally think that's massively overrated. I never roll the 5s when I want it anyway, and it puts him at risk. I personally think that the best abilities that he's got is he's a Battle Wizard with Chain Lightning, which I used to get rid of key solos. And in this matchup, the key thing is Sigil of Power, which is to give a whole unit or model magical damage types on its weapons. So
yeah, that's
quite big for taking out Blackbanes and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. What kind of benefits do you get in the Devourer's Host theme force again?
I get the 3 medium base free models. I get snacking, which is very situational, but can be a thing. And I also get free heart tokens on some of my models. For every 10 points, I get a free heart token. In this particular game, I actually forgot to deploy them, but remembered very early, and I remember Ryan being quite gracious and just was all right with me just lobbing a few on the Ravagers randomly. The other thing that I will say is a lot of people take the Death Wolves and I think they probably have got a place in this build. In fact, I know they've got a place in this build. But A, I don't own the models, and B, personally, I probably just slightly prefer the gun-line range threat for like blood trackers and stuff for me.
Fair enough.
But that's where you are with that.
Yeah, fair play. So, Ryan, did you actually win the role to go first?
Yeah, I won the role to go first. Partly because of I think it probably because of the +1 starting role from Ghost Fleet. And for me, like, I looked at the terrain, and like 9 times out of 10 when I play the game, the board presence means so much more to me than the terrain. And with that, like, nice central forest, I can abuse that whichever side I'm on. So I won the roll off, and then I just went to go first. I didn't have to choose sides. I left that to Ian.
No, fair enough then. Ian, did you have any side you particularly wanted, or?
I wasn't really bothered on the sides so much. I'd have liked to board with a couple more forests, to be honest, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I felt okay going into the matchup, but I knew in reality that I was always struggling a little bit. So I was sort of hoping basically that Morv2's feet would actually possibly clock Ryan. So I was very aware from the start of the game to basically make sure that my own clock management on wound marking was very quick, so that Ryan didn't feel aggrieved if I was to get a lucky win that way.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, then. So basically, Ryan, if you just run everything up, get some board position, and
Yeah, pretty much everything runs out. The only thing I was really keen to make sure on is that Denny runs up pretty much full tilt, hide behind that forest, so then that projects a whole bunch of threat for her to be able to feet top of 2 and then back up. I will add, I played this game thinking that Morvahna could still feet back Gallows Grove, so I was quite worried about getting a Gallows Grove and then like a couple Thunder Spirits to face, so that coloured my early times. And then the only other clutch kind of move turn 1 was to make sure that the arc node on my right-hand side could get up before the pirates had to go. Because I felt that I was stronger on my side, and I felt that Ian was stronger on his right-hand side. So I basically planned to try and leverage my feet and kind of swing around on the right before Ian could swing around on the left. So it's quite important that the arc node on the right-hand side can get out before Denny has to activate.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, other than that, yeah, everything just runs up because critics just run at them feet and win, apparently. So, yeah.
It's good play. Ian, what were your thoughts then on turn 1? Because I've seen you've stayed out of some kind of threat ranges there on the right-hand side with your Ravagers.
So the right-hand side, I don't know why, I allowed myself to get jammed too much, but for some reason I was nervous about stuff getting in, and I didn't really need to be. The centre was probably a better play, because what I basically did in the centre to Ryan with the shifting stones and this, that and the other, I really hampered his stalkers getting into me. So they could get in, but they couldn't get a lot once they were in. And I planned to get the stalkers quite cheaply, because if I can take them off the table, it allows Morvahna to play a different game, in my opinion. I'm not as worried about his range threat as some casters would be, because I've got a hill, I think, on this side as well. And I think I'll pop her on top of that for most of the game, which means he's going to struggle to hit me with a lot of stuff, and I always left plenty of transfers on it, so I wasn't too bothered about his assassination threat. I pushed the blood trackers really far out to my left, hoping that they would avoid feet, shitty feet, basically. And again, the reason the Ravagers are so far right is for the same. So it's very difficult for him to get everything,
Yeah, makes sense.
And then that's kind of my turn 1.
I've noticed you've kept your Ravager Shaman quite far back. Obviously, you want to keep hold of that Sigil of Power ability to give them the magical weapons.
Yeah, well, it's a fantastic range. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I first read it myself. He's got Command 6, so it's Command 6, he's Speed 6. So that's effectively a 12-inch range. Because you will more than often not get Vengeance on one of your other Ravager models, it almost makes it a 15-inch range.
Yeah, because you could move one back towards the Shaman if you needed it, and then...
Yeah, so it's like there's no reason at all for him to move forward, where he's actually got free bait for the rifles and free bait for Super Cane or whatever it's called. So he's best off back there.
Yeah, fair enough. Actually, can you remember, Ryan? Was the Wraith engine out of CID at this point, or was it the old Wraith engine?
This is the. I'm pretty sure this is the post CID Wraith engine. So where it picked up Rapid Strike and the slightly better Unhallowed ability.
It definitely affected your armor on shooting, so it's definitely the one outside.
Yeah. Well, the only guns really on the inside of the Bloodpack and the Bloodtrackers, and they're getting through my armor regardless of whether I've got the Wraith engine or not. So
yeah, fair enough.
Except with the Wraith engine itself, which is a big deal.
Yeah, then it gets a lot more work done when you've just got 3 straight initials. So I've watched other people playing with the Wraith engine, and a lot of people are quite cagey with it, whereas I would rather get some work out of it, like turn 2 or turn 3, and then maybe use it to get a good trade kind of position as behind the Wraith engine, so that get 3 good hits on something that you've maybe parasited, and then just position to take advantage of whatever kills it, which is basically what happens later on, like with the Wraith engine, just because he's got magic weapons on demand, so I might as well get some work out of the Wraith engine.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. So you're obviously measuring there something to do with the Stalker, and you've just moved your art node up. So you're feating this turn, are you? Going to put some debuffs out and then try?
No, I wasn't planning to feat this turn because so to explain why I didn't feat, as in I would normally feat quite aggressively with Denny, and that's normally top of 2 if I can get a lot of good shots into things. However, against Morvahna2, if you use that strong feat to basically get an attrition advantage, you just feat it all back and you basically keep shit out of luck. So the plan was to basically hold the feat till turn 3, when I could clear out the right-hand flag and the objective and basically kill absolutely everything that could run to contest the right-hand flag. So then the only way you can contest is to feat back Bloodpack, whatever to contest. If I can't do that with the feat, then the game, I think, is in Morvahna's favour, the longer game. So that's why I purposely held the feat. So the node ran up and I just slung I'm pretty sure it was Crippling Grasp into the Ravagers, planning to try and kill as many of them from basically ignore the other unit because I don't want to give them both Vengeance.
Yeah. You might as well only give the 1 unit Vengeance if you're going to give them Vengeance at all.
Yeah, rather than 2, yeah. I can't really limit I know they can come in and they can Pac-Man through stuff, and I can't really avoid that with Vengeance. So all I can really do is try and kill as many of them out of 1 unit as I can to try and at least limit how deep they can dig. So push around on the right, I thought I'd start off with grasp on that unit, and because he's keeping models back, there's quite a lot of mileage to be got out of just not keeping Crippling Grasp and then cycling at the next turn onto the other unit, and then vice versa.
That's fair enough. So was that the Hellslinger Phantom, was it then, just taking out Ravagers?
Yeah, Hellslinger Phantom, just plucking them off after I think the Red Revenants on the far right, I think they took a couple shots into some. The Hellslinger Phantom did his thing and shot some more. And I think the middle unit of pirates are moving up to put some shots into maybe another Ravager. Like at the start of the turn, I was looking at getting the Stalkers in, and then being able to walk 7, and then just jump straight over the Shifting Stones, like after I'd shot like 1 or 2. But as it was, between the Hellslinger and the Revenant, both Stalkers weren't really needed.
Yeah, you've
I think the Hellslinger Phantom's actually quite a match changer. I think if you had to play double pistol rape in this, I think it swings the matchup certainly 5-10% back towards me. Because as long as Ryan can keep him alive, he can just like kill half units every turn, you know.
He's incredible. I love him.
So Stalker's going on a Gorax,
yeah. I put a Stalker into a Gorax. So the plan there was that I thought with Vengeance moves, I thought he probably only wouldn't be able to get the closest Ravager into the cloud. So I thought maybe two Ravagers, and then maybe get some Fury on the Gorax. If the Gorax hangs around to point the Stalker, I can kill the Gorax and take away Primal. Stalkers are kind of like whatever you take it to battle group, as long as you've got a couple of arc node, everything else is kind of gravy with Deneghra1 because it's the pirates that carry the day. So if you get a good target for a stalker, you might as well send it in and just tickle something a little bit, because why not?
Yeah.
From memory, though, Ryan, you rolled really poor and did like 4 boxes to Gorax, I think, that stalker.
Yeah, the stalker is it's kind of neither here nor there, though. The stalker goes in and goes, "Here, have a stalker. To kill my stalker, I didn't need that stalker anyway, it's fine."
Oh, yeah, and here you go. So you're jamming up these Ravagers on the bottom of the screen, which is what you were talking about earlier, wasn't it, Ian?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think just jamming rather than... Because I don't want to... I was kind of thinking that you can give them magic weapons, so... like huge gaps between the models that aren't jamming, just to make it awkward. Does that make sense, Ian?
Yeah. Yeah, I should have definitely had some gaps in there, but it's a mistake and you learn, you know? Sometimes you don't see jamming coming, you always assume people are going to try and kill you.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
You just make that mistake. I mean, if it's a gun unit, you always think you're going to get jammed, right? But with a melee unit, people jam melee units a lot less.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it is what it is. Still on your turn, I think.
Yeah, I did. I generally take, like, if I'm not feating with... I spent quite a lot of time on that turn because I was basically trying to position for a good feat the following turn. So I'd rather spend an extra 3-5 minutes on that second turn positioning to make sure that the feat turn is going to be basically what I need it to be. Because if I waste a good feat turn with bad positioning, then it's basically... She got one of the strongest like attrition feats in the game, and that's not something you want to weigh. I remember now, looking at my phone, is that I've been hearing whisperings about the Tharn theme force. Doing really well with Kruger1, I think, into Ghostly. Then I had this kind of niggle at the back of my head thinking, well, those Ravagers removed from play, don't they? Then I was checking on my phone, like, the Ravager card to make sure they did or didn't, because, like, that, by then it's a little bit late, because I've just run all the pirates up on the left-hand side. But looking through the theme force, I found out it's only the removed from play, so I was a little bit happier after that.
Yeah, I think the Beast do, and Carnivore, I can do Morvahna.
Yeah.
Into living. So it's quite a strong drop, actually, into a high reclaimer. In my experience. I think this turn, basically now, I've done a bit of vengeance in and messing around and measuring there. I think basically I'm going to send that for kill most of them. I'm going to send a Ravager in now to just try and pack man a load of stuff. And it's for how long I can roll 6s, basically.
Yeah.
So I think he gets about 3 or 4 in a minute when he goes in. And that's that. I realise I've sort of chumped myself up down the bottom right-hand side here with these Ravagers down here. And I'm slightly aggrieved by the building, which means I know I'm never going to be able to kill all the
pirates.
All the pirates.
This morning. At the with I kill stuff. I know it comes back, but he might know the kill. Unfortunately, Ryan at the top rolled the 3. I remember it quite clearly, and I think I killed quite a few up there, but he bought enough back to make it a swifter death for these trackers than I would have liked. I did watch this video a few nights ago, and I think at the moment Morvahna's in control range of Gorax, and I'm fairly certain this turn Gorax primals and kills the Stalker. But I believe by the time that I've done that, I've actually moved Morvahna. I believe I cheated. I probably forced out of control range. Just something I noticed. I mean, it wouldn't have been by a lot, but out's out, right?
Yeah.
But it's I only noticed it when I watched the video back, because you watch a video back and correct your own play. I remember this turn I actually chose to do nothing or very little with the Bloodpack from memory. because basically the Pac-Man and Ravager there clears a load of stuff at the front.
Yeah.
And in order to get the Bloodpack to do anything meaningful, I have to go deeper in than I'd like to.
Yeah.
And I'm quite happy just to sit them back for a turn. In hindsight, more the flag on left than I did, and I probably should have moved them quicker towards the top of the screen than I did. But
I like how the back Ravager runs up and like to the edge of command and then thinks better of it. Actually, no, I'll just leave them back here. That's fine.
they like to chill out on the back of the board.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually one of the rules I would change in War Machine. I would say that you could never voluntarily leave command because I don't like it.
Yeah.
But whatever. It is what it is, and if that's the rule, you're going to abuse it, yeah?
Yeah. Here comes the Pac-Man, yeah.
Yeah, can I roll sixes? Let's have a look.
It's a shame that Morvahna's reroll abilities changed to command instead of control, because
my heart bleeds.
Amazing.
I'm sure it does.
I think if you listen to the start of this, you hear quite a lot of banter from me, actually, because a couple of podcasts and stuff I've listened to have called her awful, and one of the worst casters in the game. In fact, I think one labelled her the worst caster in the game. She's definitely not. Like,
yeah, mine too.
You're what, sorry?
My caster's one of the worst in the game, definitely.
Oh, Deneghra1. Oh, yeah, I can see that. No, but I don't think Morvahna is. I think a lot of people think she's a lot worse than she is, to be honest with you. She's still got tons of game. That feat's just so overbearing.
Yeah, the feat's really strong.
Yeah, it's just so overbearing that that's what it is. I think for some reason I play around a lot here, and I try to start moving the tree for some Sunder Spirits, which I don't know why I got that carried away, because you're just going to bring back those ghosts anyway. And then I think you actually jammed me with some rifles at the bottom, probably slightly off screen, or maybe there's one of them on screen, and actually chose not to kill them. Because what is the point in me killing the rifles and then you bringing them back and go shot in Morvahna? It seemed fairly pointless. But yeah, my clock's running down quite a lot as well. I don't know why this turn. Don't really know why at all. My clock management's normally much better than that, I must admit. Especially when I'm playing Morvahna. Yeah, but like you'll probably see where I move Morvahna in a minute, and then say that I'm fairly certain the Gorax will be out of control, because if that's 14 where you look now, you'll see it in a minute. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's, I know it's on the edge of 14 because I measured it, and then you're like, But I think I was just trying to position on the hill to make sure I was as safe as possible. Even though in reality, you've got no real shooting down this bottom corner, have you? Right.
Yeah.
You've got not a lot going on down there. I think I killed most of your Black Bane this turn, didn't I? Between that Ravager going out and the Pureblood, I think there was only like, what, 3 Black Banes left, maybe?
Yeah, it looked like that. Plus Black Bane himself sat on the hill, but yeah, 4 is about right. Yeah.
I felt that was reasonably good on that, because they're not getting into anything living to bring back models. So I was kind of like happy they were going down, if nothing else, you know.
Yeah.
But they're kind of, I feel with Ghostfeet, one of its strengths is that you can lose those Black Banes. You can even lose the, like you say, the Stalkers. You can throw away the battle engine if you need to.
Yeah.
The list still probably attrition's enough just for what it's got to make it very difficult for an opponent to win the game, certainly in a clock time. So that's where I was on about. I moved the Bloodpack upwards, and I've moved them upwards a little bit, and I probably should have moved them upwards a lot more. I probably should have run them.
Okay.
Because I need to be sort of behind where the Gorax is more with them, because it'd have put more potential pressure on right up there, I feel. But I made that mistake, so that's what it is. Maybe Morvahna's not out of control. I don't know, it's close.
It looks to me like if she stays where she is now, it looks like you moved kind of upwards, but towards the Gorax. So
yeah, I think there
looks
might be
like
a reposition coming in, mate. No, I've moved the Naga, so I'm all right.
Yeah, I think you're fine on that one.
I just hate the idea that I'd ever cheat anyone, if that makes sense. I hate it, so I'm very critical of my own stuff when I watch it back.
It's all right. It's only a stalker. Ryan says they're rubbish anyway. It's fine. He's just throwing it away. Doesn't need it.
This is a long turn. For what I got done, this is a long turn.
Yeah, well, I mean, in fairness, though, you have killed quite a lot of pirates and Blackbanes. I know the pirates will come back, but you've killed quite a lot. And you've still kind of kept this kind of big semicircle around Deneghra, so hopefully not all of it will be in the feet.
It wasn't. It's probably about the only thing I did right.
And here we go.
Here we go.
Here they come.
That's 3 on that unit at the bottom.
Yeah.
I think there's 1, 2.
Oh, it's only 2 at the top.
I think I only got two on the right unit, I think.
That's not too bad.
Rubbish.
Yeah. Need more buffs.
Oh, yeah. Ghost Freak's underpowered, don't you know?
Could do it being D3 plus 2, couldn't it? It'd be alright then.
I think this was another slight mistake, actually. I could have put stuff with him for that flag and didn't.
Yeah.
There's no reason the Pureblood couldn't have just been up another little bit. Anyway, it's Ryan's turn, so I should let Ryan talk. But I think you score, Ryan, don't you, on that flag this turn?
Yeah, then I was looking. I'm pretty sure I don't score on the left. I think I remember clearing the flag, but I didn't leave anything to run and actually score the flag.
But you could have. That would have been quite big, really, to be honest.
Yeah, it would. Like this scenario is you can't actually dominate the flags anyway, so I think Denny feats quite early in the turn. Basically just camps, hangs out nearby. So I was looking at this turn and basically looking at the right hand side and thinking if I can basically feat on Forest, then I can basically get probably a good feat on most of the Bloodtrackers, the Bloodpack, and then basically try and ignore or otherwise distract the left-hand side. Looking at Denny's positioning, I think I might have tried to clip the nearest most Ravager on the left-hand side, so then I could cycle Crippling Grasp. I remember doing that anyway. So here was to basically clear out as many of the Bloodtrackers on the right hand side as I could, and or otherwise jam the remainder so they couldn't get to my flag. Kill off the Gorax and kill off the what do you call them? The guys with the axes, the Ravagers. That are left in that unit on the right. Obviously, I can't get to the back guy. And then basically, as I said earlier, just absolutely kill everything that can run to contest that right flag, because if I score flag, my turn, his turn, the turn after, and the objective, then that's pretty much game.
Yeah.
Trying to work out order of activation, I think.
Out of interest, where's your second art node? I can see the one at the top. Do you remember where the other one was?
So there's one in the trench at the top.
Yeah.
And then the other one is tucked in behind the Wraith engine, ready to run through it if I need to cycle on the left-hand side.
Oh, yeah, I see the focus point.
Yeah, so a lot of pieces tended tactic, but a lot of people forget about an art node when you put it behind a Wraith engine because you can't see it. And then you just run straight through it and start arcing spells out. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I never even thought of that, actually, yeah. Just run straight through, doesn't it?
Playing fair is overrated.
It's yet another frustrating thing playing against Ghost Freak. It's like at times got a borderline tactician army wide as well. With the Black Banes and the Wraith engine.
Yeah, there it comes.
Sort of makes it very easy to play at times. Like, in my opinion, from the movie point of view.
Oh, yeah, so you've run it through the Wraith engine there.
Yeah, and then Denny is basically sliding over to try and catch. I think I might call the I must have caught the Pureblood as well if I caught the nearest Ravager.
Yeah, you definitely caught Pureblood.
So the whole part of that is to just make it really, really hard to clear the. Out of all the stuff on the right hand side, actually, it wasn't the excuse me, it wasn't like the Bloodtrackers or the Bloodpack or anything that was actually causing me issues. It's a bloody Chieftain stone. Because like pirates are actually pretty shit at killing Chieftain stones when they can't charge.
Yeah, they're quite good for that shifting stones. The other thing I was looking at, Ron, I have to be honest, I hadn't got any tape measure and I hadn't looked at it, and I should have done last turn. But I was sort of licking my lips a little bit with Denny, because I was just hoping she moved forward enough behind that wood that I could actually possibly charge the Argus, do his Animus, and then shoot through the wood with all the Bloodpack. But then I
possibly.
forgot she had stealth.
Yeah, she got stealth. And a lot of the time, like anything that's under the feet, you can't run or charge, and the stuff that's outside the feet probably can't get to her anyway. So, like, I've got an little habit now of trying to camp at least 2 or 3 when she feeds, because right on Denny's feet turn, then that's normally when people have got like the best out to basically have a go at killing her.
Well, they've got nothing else to do on your feet turn, have they? Let's be honest. It's not like they can, kill anything else, so they might as well go for Denny.
Yeah. So then this is me trying to work out how the bloody hell I get the Wraith Engine. So I had to walk through and like turn his ass around the wrong way to actually get some attacks.
I think he had to kill the Chieftain, didn't he? You failed with everything else.
Yeah. But the added benefit of the Wraith Engine actually getting some work done is it's now a huge base that basically blocking stuff getting to the right-hand flag from that side. I don't know, like maybe with Vengeance and a run, one of the right-hand Ravagers might have been able to run over, but now there's a fuck-off Wraith Engine, like, just sat there going like, well, I've got 26 boxes and I'm armor 18 and your stats are rubbish under Denny's feet, so you can't really kill me that easily. On the left-hand side, we just got Crippling Grasp on the Ravagers there, so then the Pirates
just
basically give those Ravagers something to do next turn, kill what I can, and yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like do you score 1 or 2 this time?
I scored the top flag with the Stalker.
Yeah.
So Stalkers are generally preferable for scoring, or in Steamroller 16 anyway, scoring flags, just because they're stealth with boxes. So AoEs and single blast spray doesn't really kill them. So Pistol Wraith ended up on the bottom flag, so that's effectively 2 points, I think. So top flag, bottom flag. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know you're trying to get rid of the... Chieftain's gone. Turned into a black green, obviously.
Can't remember what happened to the Gorax. Still been there.
Yeah, the Gorax was still there, because he's primaled anyway, so you're not particularly bothered.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I stuck the pirate in front of him to soak up the primal attack, basically.
I think the worst thing is he actually misses it as well, from memory. But yeah, pirate was doing his job in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you scored 2 and it's back over to Ian.
Which point pretty much everything is under Denny's feet. So I've kind of done what I wanted to in the matchup wise, in that I've basically killed everything that can contest that right hand flag. So then if he can't contest, then all I've basically got to do is kill the objective next turn.
Well, yeah. Is there anything up the top to actually contest? Maybe like a Bloodpack, I suppose? Oh, he can't run, can he?
No, I can't run.
Can't run.
Sorry, not sorry.
So I'm not sure whether I could have got a tracker in, but it actually jammed the trackers and there was nothing to help clear them. So I think some of the trackers were actually out of feet right at the top. But they were jammed or, struggling to get over there anyway.
Yeah.
So bit of a problem. I think I don't get that much done this turn, but I think my plan basically is to feet as much around his flag as I can.
Yeah.
And just hope that survives. really. That's the long and short of it. And to try and get his Wraith Engine off the table, because, you know, at least that's a bit of work gone from the list as well and stuff like that. But I start to realise that I'm in trouble now. Just that feat is just horrid. I mean, the -2 to all the stats is bad, but the fact you can't do any orders is you know, quite a big problem. So I think I'm just messing around, just trying to clear out as much as I can. Really, I know that the writing's on the wall, but you know, I'll kill as much as I can, because why wouldn't I?
Oh yeah, you might as well.
I hate it when people give up in a game, because you never know what's going to happen, and Ryan could try and clear that top flag or something next turn, have a skittle full of bad dice, and it might not happen. We've all seen it before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you've got quite a lot of Ravagers to feed back, so it's a lot of bodies to clear.
I have, and to be honest with you, if Ryan doesn't clear that flag, it's not looking that great for him on attrition at this point, to be honest. So, I mean, he's going to clear it like 99% of the time, but if he doesn't, you know, I could be back in the game. But to be honest, I think my clock management's been too poor. And, you know, that would have meant I was out of the game anyway. I don't know why. I'm normally very good with clock, Jacob, as you know, but I don't know why I dilly-dallied so much in this game. I know I got a bit of work done, but I didn't need to get all that work done all that time. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those.
Yeah, well,
I've just been better off saying, I'm not going to bother. It's fine.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I think there was a little debate here or the next turn, because I know that not Blackbane, what's the other one called? Rengrave? I know he's got like a sacrificial pawn rule, and it's quite a noisy room and stuff like that. And I'm trying to talk to Ryan, because I just thought it was like sack pawn, but it turns out it works in combat as well, which had no bearing on the game. But I was just trying to score a control point, wasn't I? That's the only reason it mattered. He's just very frustrating. He annoys me.
Rengrave annoys a lot of people, to be fair.
Well, +1 on, because they've got sort of 2 initials each. +1 mat stroke rat on all of those attacks is like massive. It's like
it's huge.
And I just kind of like wanted him gone, because if he's gone, it's sort of like my defense sort of 13s or whatever I've got, and 14s, they really start to sort of matter. But while he's on the table, it's just that the dice are fixed by, you know, like another 16% or something like that all the time. You know, it's just really frustrating.
Yeah, and it's not easy to kill, is he? Because of the call to sacrifice, like you say, he's just.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that you clear all the pirates around him, and he can still do it to he can still do it to Black Veins as well. It's just really frustrating. I'm not like a whiny sort of person, so I hope I'm not coming across as that. But I'm just sort of trying to give people sort of what it is playing Ghost Fleet, what it's like, sort of thing. But I did clear a lot of pirates again, didn't I?
Yeah.
Looking at this, I've made some real holes. It's just at that top, I came down too low too early. I was too respectful of the ranged assassination, I think. Which, you have to be respectful of ranged assassination, but equally you can be too respectful of it. I think if I just camp up with Morvahna and the amount of lights I've got, I think I'm probably all right.
Yeah, you're probably fine.
You know, especially as I've got cover on the objective, which, yes, the cover on the objectives are relevant to the ghost shots, but it's actually really relevant to Deneghra getting crippling grasp on me or parasite on me. So,
sadly though, if you could use it to knock you down, though, I think, depending on how close you are to it.
What's she got? Has she got Scourge?
Yeah, she's got Scourge.
Oh, is she? I thought that was only Deneghra1. Oh, okay. So yeah, probably not a good idea. Then I probably did better hanging around down the bottom. Made a game of it. Is it? I obviously don't get the looking at it. I probably don't get the Wraith Engine this turn. For some reason, I thought I did. Must be next turn. The Wraith Engine.
Yeah. Does Denny's feet affect the power on the Tharn bows?
No, it affects the rat, which is
okay, fine.
Still big.
Yeah.
Defense 12 battle engine. You know, people say defense 12 is an irrelevant stat. It's not. I know I'm in the rear, so it's 10 in effect. But there again, and I could aim, I guess. But yeah, I'm still hitting like 4s or 5s or 4s, I think it is. But you know, I'll probably be all right if I'm in the back arc. But again, it's the CID battle engine that makes a difference because like power 13 bows will chip on an armor 18. They won't chip on an armor 20.
20 against shooting and magic after the CID. Whereas before you had to take 2 for them to buff each other's armor against shooting and stuff. Whereas now 1 will just self buff its own armor, which is actually really relevant when you only want a single race engine.
Oh yeah.
It's massively relevant into these Bloodpack now because you know I'd have liked that, especially as they're all in Morvahna reroll range as well. So you know, you've always got the chance to spike a few.
Yeah.
I think I'm slightly nervous with Morvahna now because one of the reasons Morvahna's still definitely a high skill cap caster now is just keeping her alive on this feat turn is really tricky. And like I say, it's the only sort of real thing that she offers. I mean, Fog of War's okay, but there's better versions of it in Circle. The only other thing she offers, of course, is personal threat. Like, she's one of the biggest personal threat casters in the game. I think a lot of people forget that. I've killed people like Amon quite a few times because he's got a bit greedy. Come a bit far forward for his synergy.
Yeah, she can really go in against a single target with the rerolls and the
Life Trader.
Life Trader, that's the one, yeah.
And Carnivore, if it's a caster, if she's put it on herself, or even if she wants to, and the knockdown on the goat as well.
Yep.
So it's, and she's cavalry, so it's boosted hit on the charge attack. She's got quite a lot going for her with personal threat. She's done me quite a few assassinations and killed like quite a few jacks and stuff like that as well, or heavies that people have got they've thrown forward. So they're the 2 things she offers really. It's the feat and the personal threat. I suppose the other thing is Sundered Spirit, which in the right matchup is huge. Like in the right matchup, Sundered Spirit is like taking animuses off stuff's just massive.
Yeah, it can be.
So I'll move the dog forward here. I think he's just going to do a combo strike thing that he's got on that battle engine.
Woof.
Oh yeah, he's got that. He's got the combo strike, hasn't he?
Yeah, so I think that's what he's up to. I'm getting desperate now to go as battle engine, so I think I've shot it with most things I've got. I feed with Morvahna, but as much back close to the flag as I can. I think I'm just looking at putting any damage on it I can. Obviously, I couldn't run with a dog to go and contest the flag, so that wasn't an option. So on that basis, I've just got to walk the dog in or whatever I did and give it a
I suppose
slap.
at this point as well, though, if Ryan doesn't deal with the dog and Deneghra is still hanging around somewhere, you can always doppelbark near her and...
It's just the stealth. It's the stealth that just wrecks it over and over and over again. So if she didn't have stealth, like, you know, I could see through those woods, that's fine.
You could always hunting hells with Morvahna, like, and then run to her. Or not run to her, like move and reposition next to her, and then shoot her with the Bloodpack.
Yeah, so the other dog, the Moonhound's at the bottom here. So that's the Wild Iris there, the Moonhound's at the bottom. Now, one of the things with hunting howls, and I'm not going to moan about a Moonhound because just the transfers of it's great. Like 20 odd boxes for 6 points is brilliant. But one of the problems with it is the range on hunting howls is actually like really poor.
Yeah, it is. On the Argus, it is because you've at best you can get it to 6 plus a charge, and then obviously
9
plus the hunting howls. It's only a 14-inch from the dog, but
they've got to give you something to make it 14 inches, if that makes sense. It's like it's really tricky for the prof. The marked target's easy enough to pull off, you know, but the hunting howls is actually quite hard to pull off. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's again a bit of tech that's helped me a couple of times clear things like Iris and nuisance things like that. But I'm not going to pretend that hunting howls is used very often at all. And it hits like a chump. It's like power 11 or something. It's map 5. It's awful. The circle lights are not very special in my opinion overall. But they're going to play rat. So their lights just seem a lot better.
So you've basically jammed up Ryan at this point. So Ryan didn't score any points at the end of your turn.
So the left hand side, my left hand side, that is kind of a little bit gummed up, and Revenants aren't great against stuff when they're not charging. So I didn't have high expectations on the left hand side. I think I might have had Crippling Grasp on casting and cycling. Crippling Grasp. I think there might have been a Crippling Grasp somewhere on the bottom unit of Ravagers.
Yeah.
Just attacking what I can, killing what I can. And then trying to remember. So I remember I cleared the top flag. Can't remember which way around I did it, but then the plan was to basically kill the Bloodtrackers, kill off the rest of the right-hand unit of Ravagers, and then basically use whatever I've got left after clearing that flag to A-score it, and then get into the objective or the Bloodpack, or basically whatever I can get into. Important to me for the race engine to actually get some work done, just again, so it's a huge base with boxes in the way, blocking stuff, getting to contest my flag, because you've got the Shaman guys at the back anyway, so the magic weapons on demand, so I might as well get some work out of it, and
incorporeal's not going to save
some stuff. Yeah. Then he starts off proceeding by walking up and chucking a Crippling Grasp at the pirates, I think, and then stabbing one, because at this point, like, every attack counts. And then he's quite safe, like, with a couple of focus in a forest. Point I was thinking I can get some work done with Denny, because I haven't got to worry about him feeding the Gallows Grove back now and killing Denny because he's feated.
Even though I couldn't feed the Gallows Grove.
even though he couldn't feed the Gallows Grove back on it. But then also it's enabled Denny to get another soul, which is because next turn if she's got to get stuck in on a flag. Because actually there's the red unit of pirates on the right hand side. They're probably not going to be doing a whole lot of work next turn, so actually if all they do is just run to score the flag, then he can go deep and tickle whatever she can. So I think here the race engine went into the Ravagers, and I quickly clambered under the table to get my free machine wraith out, because why not?
Well, yeah, you might as well have it.
Yeah.
Well, the last time I lost into Ghost Fleet prior to playing you was because they charged my Ravager Shaman with the Wraith engine, and it was on a Morvahna feat turn. The position is very similar to what they are now, actually, and a Wraith engine charged the rear of Morvahna and killed her. Because they killed the transfer. This is just...
Yeah, the race engines, like the fact it doesn't need to actually be the one attacking something to make the machine wraith does. You can get some quite funky angles going. And it just lets the list dig a little bit deeper than it otherwise might be able to. Just have your free solo charge off and think you killed a Ravager, didn't you, by the looks of it? From a free machine wraith. And then pirates going in on the Gorax. I think they've flubbed it, looking at it. The Gorax is still there at the moment.
Like I said, you didn't do much at all with your light at the first turn, which meant I think the Gorax on basically virtually full health. Do you know what I mean? He's not taking a lot at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that top flag's looking all right for you then, I suppose, Ryan.
So after all of that stuff has gone, the right flag was clear, I think. I'm trying to remember what I scored with. The Hellslinger Phantom goes into the Gorax as well, and I think he shits the bed as well. Looking at because Gorax is still there. The Gorax is still there, being like a massive dickhead. So then the Artnobe runs back, basically ready to run to contest the flag on my left, because I felt things weren't going so great on the left-hand side. So I scored the right flag with the Stalker again, just because you had to walk in and kill some Ravagers anyway. Stalker's the best thing to do, because with Crippling Grasp, their stats go down to basically where Stalker doesn't need to boost to hit and kill them. You've got Grievous Wounds, so they don't get the tough rolls. So you've actually got quite reliable ability to clear the Ravagers that are closest to the flag to make sure that I'm clear. So we went to 3 points, I think.
Yeah, you're on 3 at the moment.
Yeah, and then kind of trying to see. Oh, it says that at the bottom of the screen. Fantastic. The plan was to basically try and ride this turn out, because I've still got the red unit of pirates up at the top on the right hand side. So I think even if I lose a lot of the middle unit of pirates, the Wraith engine, I can probably still get some decent work done between Denny and the red pirates if the Bloodpack come into the flag.
Yeah, you still got plenty up there, haven't you? So, Ian, what are you thinking of doing this turn then? What are your plans?
So my plans, I want the Wraith engine dead, and I want to get as much stuff as I can get with the Wraith engine dead to contest that flag. You look at the table and you can see I've really been jammed out of that flag. It's really causing me a massive problem, and unless that Argus is able to get there, even if it is Denny probably kills it, but unless the Argus is able to get there, I'm not really getting a lot else there, to be honest. The Gorax can just stand there and kill stuff. Like, he can't get there. And the Bloodpack aren't really going to get there. However, they do have assault, and I think I assault as many towards the flag as I can this turn. But I don't think they make it, or I end up forgetting to position them close enough to the flag. It's kind of a lost cause, and I'm just looking for points, to be honest with you. I realise that I've lost the game. I think I look for a control point at the bottom, see if I can get that, and I think I look to kill the Wraith engine, the Machine Wraith, and the Phantom Hunter dude at the top. You see what I mean about the assault?
Yeah.
The other thing here is, although I can't assault all my models into what they're killing, I'm going to hit the objective. But I was trying to explain it to Ryan again. It was a large room. I knew I was going to hit the objective, but I was fine with that, because I'm going to hit the objective just to do the shot. You know, I'm not actually trying to engage anything with it.
Yeah,
that's what it is. I don't get the Wraith engine with the Bloodpack from memory.
that's a bit of a shame. But I mean, I suppose you're right. Even if you do jam it, Ryan, you've got a lot of stuff up the top of the flag to kind of clear it, score the 4th point, and all you've got to do is kill an objective.
Yeah.
Get the 5th one.
I don't think I can test it. I don't think I got anything in to contest it. I think, I kind of knew it was a lost cause, if that makes sense. I don't think I was massively focusing as much as I needed to. You know when a game's gone, don't you? So you just start looking for points, or I just start looking for tiebreakers at that point, really. And I think that's where I was with this. I was like, whatever, I've lost that thing. Let's see if I can get as many points as I can,
Yeah, see if you can get some points. So I know you've gone back to Ret now, Ian, but would you play this list again into Ghost Fleet under SR17? Or would you...
Probably. It's not bad into Ghost Fleet overall. I mean, Ryan's a better player than myself anyway, so that helps him out massively. I think it's okay into lesser Ghost Fleet players, but I think the better Ghost Fleet players will probably beat you with it. I think Wormwood's probably your best bet into Ghost Fleet, but not the normal. I also think Boulder 2's okay into Ghost Fleet, to be honest with you, potentially. But in SR17, he might struggle now because he'll need to cover a lot more bases. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not sure he can contest everything with the two big boys. So I think Wormwood's probably your best bet. I mean, Hellmouth's the thing. Mosar might be all right into it, actually, bizarrely. Crevasse and Wild Weird Gunline is pretty useful if you can keep Mosar alive, and that's a massive if. So yeah, I think it's all right, but I always feel the match is against you. But my other drop was Kaya too, so I'd definitely drop right and make it the best I can.
If I drop Kaya too, realise you weren't contesting, so you went to 5-0. So yeah, probably a win for Denny.
I play those two because I enjoy playing them, not necessarily because I think it's lucky. I mean, are you feeling Ghost Fleet's in a better place now, Ryan? Even more so with this stuff I like what I call Bane Fleet.
So Dark Coast is so there's some fundamental differences between Fleet and Dark Coast play out in that Dark Coast, regardless of caster, want to play quite an aggressive game, and well, with Ghost Fleet, you have to worry about insurance models quite a lot to make sure you don't lose a whole unit of pirates. SR17, if you want to score those circular zones, there's normally 2 of them. There's only one scenario with, or one, I think. So there's 2 scenarios with 2 circles on each side. So if you want to score those zones with pirates, you've actually got to put a whole unit in there, which potentially opens the risk of losing a whole unit of Revenants, which is generally when, if you get that happen to 2 out of 3 units, that's probably game. 1 out of 3 units, you might be okay. Pirates don't really want to be scoring zones, so you're generally limited to Denny and Blackbones for scoring circles, which kind of gives Dark Host the edge in those scenarios in particular, because Bane Warriors, Bane Knights, Bane Riders, you all want to play like up in your opponent's grill, so they actually don't have any issues getting whole units in zones.
Isn't it amazing we both have the same problem? Because I have the same problem with Morv2 as well in SR17.
Yeah.
In that I can't just leave somebody dragged at the back of the board and expect to. I mean, her normal win is scenario jam out.
Yeah.
So I have exactly the same problem. Interesting.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, guys. Hopefully it was interesting.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks, Jacob.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching.